Good morning, welcome back to our channel. I'm Sarah with our furniture flipping adventure, and I realized that most people are on a tight schedule and an even tighter budget. So my goal for today is to flip this little nightstand in just a weekend and with only $10. Is that even possible? I'm not sure, but we're gonna find out. So make sure you join us today on our little adventure, and we'll find out if it's possible to flip a nightstand for 10 bucks. Let's go. So to start with, I'm going to clean my piece off with Crud Cutter. It's a cleaner degreaser that'll just help get rid of any oils and dirt on my piece before I can sand and start painting. If you sand first, any dirt on your piece is going to be forced down into the grain of your wood, so it's best to remove that before you do any sanding. And then after I wash it, I'm going to come back with my water here and I'm going to rinse it back off just to make sure there's no residue from my cleaner left on the piece. This is a nice little nightstand. I've had it for a little while and it's needing a bit of a tune-up. The construction of it is fine, but the finish itself is coming off on the top. So I'm going to make sure that I give that area especially a good sand to get any of the loose finish off before I put paint over it, because if my finish wants to come off and flake and peel and I just put paint over that, then what the paint adheres to is a shaky surface. So we're going to make sure that we have a good foundation to start with. Then we'll get to painting. Alright, so now that I've cleaned and removed my hardware, I'm going to go ahead and get to sanding. Normally I would use my orbital sander on this piece, but because not everybody has an orbital sander and we're trying to do this on the cheap, I'm going to show you that it's really not that hard, even when your finish is flaky, to completely sand a piece and in a short amount of time. You're going to want to wear a mask. I know we've been wearing a lot of masks recently, but you want to protect your lungs from any of the sanding dust. I find it easiest to fold my paper in half. Don't know exactly why, but it just is easier for me to grab onto. Now I'm just going to be sanding back and forth with the wood grain, and you're going to see that some of this old finish is going to start coming off, and then as soon as I get as much off as I can, I'll stop. But if my sanding is not taking off the finish, then odds are normal use isn't going to take it off either. So now that I've sanded, my surface is dirty again with the sanding dust. So now I'm just going back through with some more water and a rag and just taking off that layer of dust. And then our prep work is over and we're going to be ready to put paint on. Now the paint I'm going to be using is a no prep paint. So if it's a no prep paint, why did I prep my piece? Well, just because it says it's no prep, and yes, it will stick to it, that doesn't mean it's going to last well. I prefer to put this little bit of effort into each piece that I do to ensure a very long lasting finish to my paint. Though cleaning at the beginning was about 3 minutes, the sanding took me, I timed it, 4 minutes and 30 seconds to sand this down by hand. So with taking the knobs off and carrying it around, we're under 15 minutes so far. So 15 minutes to ensure a long-lasting finish to your piece is definitely worth it in my book. So I'm going to be using Waverly's Inspiration Chalk Paint. This is the stuff you can buy at Walmart for $6. I've never used this stuff before, but I've seen other YouTubers who I really admire and am inspired by use it, so I am going to give it a try today. I've chosen the color Mineral, and the reason behind that is I couldn't tell in the store whether it was gray or brown, so I figured I'd buy it and figure it out for myself. I'm gonna have to pour it into a little painter's cup because my brush is too fat to fit into this little 8-ounce jar's top thing. So it's a bit too skinny for any of my paint brushes. So I'm gonna dump it in here, and then while I'm not using it, I'll cover it and I'll actually put it in my refrigerator just so it doesn't have a chance to dry out on me. So probably didn't need to dump it all out, but I've done it now. Now, is a little 8-ounce gonna be enough for a nightstand? Yes, absolutely. I also have my little squirt bottle here. I didn't know how thick this paint was gonna be, but if you're finding that it's not smoothly going on, you can add a little water to help things move a little better. And this squirt bottle's nothing fancy. Find it at the dollar store and use it in your hair. Just getting my brush a little damp before I start. So with your first coat of paint, you don't really have to worry about trying to get it to be completely covered. That will come later with your second and even third coats. But for the first coat, you really just want to get it all covered and going in the right direction. I like to use long, smooth strokes all in the same direction to even everything out. Now for my second coat, I brought the whole piece inside, and ugly furniture isn't the only thing that I like to rescue. This is Kenzie, our little rescue dog, well, not so little, that we adopted from the shelter about 6 months ago. She's become quite the rambunctious member of our family. And with my second coat, I'm actually going in the opposite direction. The first coat I went with the grain, and then the second coat I'm going against the grain. Now, I've chosen to wax this piece because, again, it's in my house, in my kitchen, and wax makes less of a mess and less of a chance of splashing around and is less fumey. And so that is what I went with for this piece. To apply my wax, I'm using a wax brush and I'm going back and forth and in circular motions to work that wax down into the paint. Now, these chalk style paints are very porous and they soak in that wax nicely, and then the wax settles down in the paint and on the paint and then hardens to create a seal and protect your painted finish. Alright everyone, I'm finishing off here in my home because outside has decided to have a little tropical storm going on, so we're stuck indoors for now. But the whole project was easily finished in that one day, and I was even on my own with my 4-year-old and my 2-year-old that day. My husband was out of town, and I was able to get it all completely finished just in that one day. So a little project like this, it doesn't have to take you a whole lot of time. Now for products, I didn't even use that entire little jar of paint. There's actually not quite half, a little less than half left in it, so it's ready for another small project. A couple of frames, a vase, whatever I want to paint with it. I have that little bit of paint left over. My wax that I used, it comes in that 1 pound jar, I guess you could call it, and you can buy that whole thing for $8 at Home Depot, but I only used not even a fifth of it, so I mean less than $2 of wax, less than $6 of paint, so you can see I reused the same knobs. This project easily cost me under $10 to do. However, if you have to completely buy them brand new, the $8 and the $6 for the paint with your taxes and everything, you're looking at more around $15, which still for a complete makeover and leftover products is fantastic. It definitely did an update to my little nightstand that had some issues going on, and now it is fresh and cute and ready to continue serving its purpose for many years to come. So thank you for joining me today on this little bit of a different small adventure, and I hope that if you haven't tried flipping anything yet or haven't tried painting furniture, that this will inspire you. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money or take a lot of time. Just get that first little project and try it out. Our videos next week will be canceled due to me traveling to Canada, but I'm hoping to film while I'm up there. So until I see you guys again, stay safe, stay inspired, and do fun things. I'm Sarah with our furniture flipping adventure. Bye.